Hello, hello! Welcome to the after party behind the mic, where a bunch of amateur voice actors hang out and talk about voice acting and other things. I'm Wilhelmina. I am your host today. I also go by Starlight on most of my social media accounts. And today I am joined by the lovely voices of, go ahead and start from the top, introduce yourselves.
Hello, I am Chris Johnston.
How's it going, everybody? It's Edmund.
I'm Manuel, the Fluency bringer.
And I'm Zoe.
Awesome. It's so cool to have you guys here today.
Thank
So,
you.
for quick context, we are all voice acting students. We're all taking a class specifically for voice acting. And so I have just a couple of questions laid out today. So my very first question, I'm really interested in knowing what your guys' end goals are for taking these classes. Why did you decide to take this class? Like, what do you hope to gain from taking a voice acting class?
I'm really hoping just to gain the tips and skills necessary to make this a career.
Edmund, what about you?
I am much the same way. So I'm primarily looking to see what the inside of the industry already looks like, so that I get a good start going into it. I'm not walking into something completely blind. And while some of the credentials on closing credits are pretty phenomenal. The people like Deb and Brendan, who are renowned voice actors in their own right, teaching classes was very appealing. And also the idea of hanging out with a bunch of other voice actors was a super fun prospect to me. And I think it's paid out because I met all y'all, so it's going pretty well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Manuel.
Okay, so, well, to be honest, I am the podcast host of a Spanish podcast, so I'm not really good at it though, so that's why I try to get into VA classes to improve my voice and get to know more about equipment and everything. So, and while I have been doing here with any objectives, I think that what I want to do in the future is just to get into any indie game or just any game at all. I would like to do something with my voice.
Cool. Yeah, for me, it was kind of just a spur of the moment sort of thing. Obviously, I knew I needed to take classes, and I looked everywhere to find classes and just happened to find some on Casting Call. And I really hope that what I would like to gain out of it is that I really want to learn how to express emotions more clearly and more genuinely. And I guess we'll see where it goes. I didn't go into it originally thinking I'd get a career. It was just for fun. But now that I've started and met everyone here, it's been such a short journey so far, but really paying off. And I think I would definitely love to go farther with it. So that's kind of why I'm going to continue pursuing these classes. What about you, Zoe?
So my mom originally found it because she was looking for voice acting lessons. And I've been wanting to do voice acting for a lot of my life, but I haven't known where to start. So I'm starting here. I'm starting now, and I'm really excited because I've met a lot of people, these lovely people here in this podcast. Yeah.
I was super surprised about who our teacher is too, because
Nice.
that was really impressive.
Yeah.
Having a professional voice actor actually be there to teach you is really exciting as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I again super impressed by the cast of closing credits. It's amazing. It's phenomenal.
Absolutely. Like you can
Communities.
tell, they're legit. They're a legit website, and this training and everything has been really phenomenal as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I could go back real
So
quick, to Manuel, you said you host a Spanish podcast. You want to shout that
Right.
out, or what do you do?
Well, it's a Spanish podcast for Spanish learners. I'm an online teacher, so I teach both English and Spanish. And I started this podcast with a friend of mine, but pretty much he ditched me. And so I ended up doing this alone. So
Hey man,
Yeah.
that's awesome that you kept going though.
yeah, it's
I
been going on
know.
for 6 months now.
Wow.
That's
Nice.
crazy.
Nice.
Wow.
By yourself too?
Yeah, it has been pretty hard.
That's awesome.
You're
Yeah, we'll
hardworking.
definitely have to drop the link to your podcast in our description for sure.
Sure.
Definitely.
The very last episodes have been in English though, so probably you could learn something from it.
Oh, brilliant.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to listen for sure. That's really cool. Yeah, I've never done a podcast before, so this is my first time doing this.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I may have been doing a podcast for 6 months, but I'm still amateur. I don't know what I'm
Yeah.
doing.
It's okay, you
okay.
still belong with the amateur voice actors.
Yes, there's.
I don't think
amateur
any
and
of us know what
musical.
we're doing.
We won't kick you out yet.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
one more comment, like Frederick, and you're out of here. We gotta
Oh
start.
my goodness. We need to give context for Frederick.
No context. Absolutely no
No
explanation.
context for Frederick. Frederick is a
Frederick.
Dearie.
Frederick will
Deserve the
forever be a
context.
mystery.
He's not a
Frederick is our live
mystery.
studio
Mystery
audience.
man.
Two of the episodes.
Frederick is our single live studio audience.
Yeah. Yep.
Unfortunately, he is not our laugh track or anything like that.
The next question I had is that I'm wondering if there is a moment, like specifically a performance, or is there maybe a specific voice actor, actress, or multiple that have inspired you to pursue voice acting or to learn more about it?
Yeah, I would say that one of the voice actors that really inspired me to do what it is I want to do is those such as oh man, his name has blanked on me, but there's
Every time.
yeah, there's there's the Bryce Papenbrook, Todd Habercorn,
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
oh,
Todd is one of my favorites.
Matt Mercer. That's the name I was blanking on.
Yes,
I don't know
Matthew Mercer.
I don't know why I forgot
Beautiful
that.
man.
But yeah,
Yeah, he's incredibly skilled for sure.
he is. Like he can voice act. He's a really good D&D runner. He can sing.
Oh my goodness.
And about the singing, it's interesting because a lot of voice actors can usually sing. Not all, of course, but most can sing because you kind of have to learn how to use your voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by strengthening your voice, you sort of start learning the whole how to control your pitch and everything while you're singing.
Yeah, I can. I just
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna change that. We're gonna change that. by the
Oh,
end.
no.
We'll have a completely
I'm
musical.
the same way.
We'll have a podcast where we're all just, it'll be a musical podcast.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
We just-
the
And we'll
first
all have
song
to
will
sing.
be
Yeah, we
Let
just
It Go.
we all just
Let
start
it go.
breaking out in song.
Yeah.
Just randomly. Yep.
Edmund, what about you? Do you have any voice actors or like a specific performance maybe that kind of was like, holy crap, that's something I want to do?
I don't know because growing up I was like a big media kid, so I watched a lot of cartoons. Danny Phantom, Avatar: The Last Airbender, Arthur, and there's a lot of people that I watched growing up, and they all do amazingly brilliant performances. And I guess they all, as a collective, really inspired me to act. To be fantastical, to be out there and adventurous and animated, because all those characters were very animated. Aang and Danny, they all had a sort of robustness to them. They just go out there and do stuff, stupid stuff sometimes, but
Yeah.
yeah, that really hit me
Yeah.
on a personal level and affected my personality. So it's that kind of performance, that kind of personality that drives me, and the opportunity to do the same thing for someone down the line through my work. That's really what I'm going for at the end of the line. There is that ability to give back the way that they gave back to me.
Yeah, definitely.
Manuel, what about you?
Yeah, in my case, I don't really have any voice actor that
Yeah.
really inspire me. Probably the only one that I have really enjoyed listening to was our classmate Matthew Adderhold. He really inspires me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I really like his
Oh,
voice.
yeah,
and,
Adderhold.
Oh, that's awesome.
TikToks. Yeah, he's amazing, and he
He
apparently
really is.
will be a really great. Let's see what to call it. This guy's. No, not that. Well, he helps a lot of people with getting castings. So
Yeah.
what do you call? I don't remember.
Manager?
Anyway, kind of like a
Manager?
manager, kind of something like that. All right. So anyway,
Agent.
he's a great manager. Agent, that thing. I don't know what
Yeah,
I always forget
agent.
that. an agent. He will be
Yes,
a
I've
really
watched
great
some of
agent.
Matthew's TikToks.
Yeah, he's really good. But before that, before meeting him, I didn't really know like why I get into this. Like the reason I got into this was because of my podcast. Basically, I wanted to improve my voice and get to like it because my voice is not something that have been like I haven't liked it for a long time, and even people doesn't like my voice, especially because it seems that I'm either speaking too quietly or too loud. So yeah. Even when I started my podcast, even my family and some friends were skeptic about this because they didn't think about like I will be able to do a good podcast. So yeah, my voice has been a weakness like all my life. I have never been like a very good speaker. I'm kind of like more of a listener, a writer, rather than a speaker. Even as a non-native English speaker, I mean, even if I was speaking my native language, I would speak the same way. Like I don't know what to say. I'm just
Yeah.
and actually the podcast is pre-recorded because like probably one episode takes me like 8 hours of recording and
Wow.
editing because
Wow.
I'm a perfectionist, so I really try to make everything sound perfect. So
Holy
Mhm.
schnitzel.
Yeah.
yeah,
I do not
So,
this is
like-
something new for
what
me.
I'm getting is
talking to
that
other
you're kind of
people.
hoping to,
Yeah.
what I'm getting is you're kind of hoping to like improve on your like speech and stuff through taking these classes and through interacting with other people who are also taking similar routes.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
Wow.
Getting a little bit of confidence in your own voice and your ability to speak and such. It's awesome.
Right.
Yeah, I think a lot of people who go into this aren't usually very confident in the sound of their own voice, and it's through interactions with other people that they kind of start to feel a little more confident, and they're like, okay, yeah, maybe I can do that. Maybe people will like what I sound like.
Yeah.
So really cool that you put yourself out there in that way.
Yeah, thank you.
That is absolutely a trend I've noticed, though. Like, between all of our classmates, the majority of the people I've met have been introverts. And
Yeah.
that's kind of
That's so
shocking.
funny
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, because we're all
Yeah.
out here
Like-
being voice
That describes
actors.
me pretty well.
You could even call me Hikikomori.
Oh. Yeah. Hikikomori, that's the Japanese term where people just like are shut in basically.
Yeah, basically. So this pandemic was not really a problem for me, especially because I have been an online teacher for 8 years now. So
Wow.
pretty much I have been working at home for a very long time. So I don't have any need to go outside. I don't know how to survive
Yeah,
college.
so finding interactions with people can be kind of hard when you're at home all the time,
Right.
Yeah.
Mm.
which is why the whole Discord and meeting everybody and taking these classes has been such a cool thing to meet so many people with similar interests.
Yeah,
Definitely.
definitely.
Yeah.
I just can't
As far as
believe,
for me,
sorry.
to answer my own question, which I've asked a similar question off cast before, my answer hasn't really changed much. The performances I can think of right off the top of my head, and I'll try not to be too spoilery for anybody who is watching these animes or hasn't watched them yet. But there's a scene in Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood where Edward is fatally injured and he has to do alchemy to save himself, and the raw emotion that is portrayed in that scene just caught me off guard. And I've rewatched that anime a few times, and every time that scene comes around I'm always so excited to listen to it again. And then there is another scene in the anime series The Jaeger, and the voice actor is Koi Dao, and he has this scene where he finds out that his surrogate father is responsible for something terrible, and he just becomes really emotional. And I had to rewatched the scene a few times, and I was just like, oh my gosh, that's incredible. And I didn't really pay as much attention to the voice acting originally. Like, yes, I love voice actors. I get very attached to them, which is why I find it very hard to go from watching an English show into like a Japanese show or its original dub if I get attached to the voice actors. But those specific scenes just kind of make me, like I said, I really want to be able to do something like that would be just as captivating for somebody else watching. Like, so I guess similar to what you said, Edmund, like I want to be able to create a performance that other people can like resonate with.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So yeah, those scenes were just incredible. And then of course a lot of the voice actors through Genshin Impact, where many of them voice in many other shows, but I didn't know a lot about many of them until I started playing the game and interacting with the community. And that's when I started to feel like, wow, like I love this community. I really want to be a part of it. And that kind of inspired me to try voice acting.
That's great.
So
Wow.
Zoe,
I've been waiting for this one. Okay, so whenever I was younger, I used to watch My Little Pony because, yes, I was any typical little girl. And Tara Strong has been my biggest inspiration, especially childhood. Yes, she was Twilight Sparkle from My Little Pony and Raven from Teen Titans, which Raven was my favorite, but Twilight wasn't my favorite, but Raven was definitely my favorite from Teen Titans.
yes, I loved Raven.
Yes, oh my goodness. I used to try to imitate her voice, but that name has always stuck with me. Also, Christina V. She voices.
Oh,
Yes.
Yes.
She voices Marinette in Miraculous Ladybug and a bunch of different other voices. She's crazy talented.
And she sings.
I
too.
know.
Like, I discovered her through her singing before I even knew she was a voice actress.
Wow. But yeah, that's for me. Christina V and Tara Strong. And yes, I still watch cartoons. Okay.
Dude,
Oh, don't worry
know if
about it, I
anyone
do
here
too.
Doesn't watch cartoons. I love cartoons.
22 years old, I'll still watch Disney Channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love cartoons. I got that same thing from like as an animation student, some of my favorite scenes to watch are action scenes in cartoons.
Yeah.
I absolutely, every time something like that happens, I'm like, oh my god, like this looks amazing. And it was, I guess, very similar to the answer I gave for the whole inspiration of voice acting is I will also, through my animation classes, I hope that someday I will have these skills to be able to animate something that is that exciting to watch. And just as like, through voice acting, I hope that someday I will have the skills where I can create something that will be just as exciting and captivating to listen to, too.
I'm sure
Nice.
you will.
Are you guys familiar with Monty Ohm's work?
Yes, absolutely,
Monty Ohm.
definitely.
That dude was crazy. Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember. I know.
He-
You might know him most probably from Ruby.
Oh, wasn't he the
Yeah,
animator?
He was
He
the
was.
original creator of.
mhm. And before
My
that,
dad-
my
it
dad-
was
Okay.
Before your
Before
time,
that,
it
yeah,
was-
he's known well for his animation skills.
Yeah, before
Yeah.
the Ruby,
My-
it was Red versus Blue, and that was what I grew up on.
My dad actually showed me an animation series. It was 2 games, Dead or Alive. I'm not sure if y'all know about that. And I think Street Fighter or something like that. It was some sort of, it was like a mashup, and he did a
Death
whole
Battle?
animation scene.
Hmm.
He used to do a series, and then my dad said he suddenly disappeared, and I was like, that name kind of sounds familiar. And then we found out Ruby, and then we found out he died, which is very
Yeah, he
tragic.
had passed away, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his
And very
animation,
unexpectedly, too.
his
Yeah, it was a
animation,
tragedy.
like crazy for just one guy.
It was amazing.
Right?
He did a short that was Master Chief versus Samus, and that was like back in like 2009, 2012. Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah,
but it
and
was,
I mean, the action scenes in Ruby are probably what drew me in more than the story did in the beginning. And yeah, he's responsible for, for directing and animating that too. And it's just, yeah.
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 it had such a flair with the details of the emotions. Everything happening on screen had a purpose.
I wonder if he animated Ruby all by himself until season
probably
4.
not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, I think-
believe he had a team.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he was already with Rooster Teeth at that time.
Oh, okay.
So it was animated through the production of Rooster Teeth.
But you can also see like the progress through whenever Ruby was directed and animated by him. You could see how he improves and how it gets better. The story gets better. The animation gets better. He's, it's so awesome to see something grow like that.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's actually a fantastic segue, Zoe. I was gonna say, in the future, I'd love to see how our answers change to these same kind of questions.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
6 months down the road, if we feel like we've achieved what we set out to do with the class, and if we're feeling fulfilled by it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think some of because there's so many of us in this class, so and everyone's joined for similar answers or different answers, different reasons.
Yeah.
It is really neat. Like originally when I got interested in voice acting, it was just a let's just see, and then I don't know. Recently, it's kind of been like, wow, I really want to do this, and so who knows? Later down the road, I may be like, yep. So this is it now. This is gonna be it.
Yeah.
So I guess another question, because we're kind of getting close to the end of our time.
Oh, yes.
And I don't know if maybe this has been discussed in another podcast already, but is there what are your guys' favorite kind of characters to voice?
I'd say that my favorite kind of voice to do is villain voices.
Ooh.
Cool. Those can be hard because you have to really. I mean, you have the deep voice you can go to.
Yeah.
To achieve that for sure.
Yeah, I have the right voice for it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Edmund, what about you?
For me, much like Chris, I love doing villain voices, and I also love, more so than that, doing really, really emotional characters.
Oh.
Yeah, because I'm quite a emotional person, very passionate, very I feel things a lot, and so like being able to put in a really emotional delivery of anything, I feel is really, really fun and really cathartic almost, because if you're voicing a line of somebody who, I don't know, they had just been horrifically traumatized by something, or they found out that someone had passed away that they loved, or they're seeing something go down that's terrible, like those kinds of moments where you get real raw emotional energy charged into a delivery, it's super cathartic, because
Yes, yeah, those are the
Yeah.
exact scenes that I mentioned that are like, just you're not prepared for them.
yeah.
And if you can voice that, that's such an incredible thing to be able to do.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I feel like I'm a
For
very
sure.
happy person in life, but I would love to make people cry with my acting.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome. I don't cry easy, so like, but voice actors they hit different.
We do.
Well, the secret to a good cry is to make it real. To make yourself cry.
Yeah.
My old trick was to think about the end of Titanic.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
My issue is I don't cry. Like I said, I don't cry easy, so that I can't think of movies or anything like that.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
I
I'm
don't
very
either.
excited for
That
you
is
to
the
make
that
me
is
cry.
the really cool thing, though, is that this is something that's been brought up, before with professional voice actors as well. The way they talk about how, sometimes you really have to be very vulnerable
Yeah.
when you are recording something, because you pull those emotions from things that you have experienced yourself oftentimes. And that doesn't just apply to voice actors, but just regular actors as well. A lot of the acting comes from their own raw emotions that they have to bring to the surface, and that can be really hard to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a draining experience, and you have to do it repeatedly if the take wasn't good.
Oh
Right.
my
So-
goodness.
It's like,
Yeah, you
you
have
weren't
to-
emotional enough. Can you maybe think about, that animal that you really loved that passed away like a week ago, maybe,
Yeah.
and then
Oh god.
redo
Yeah.
it?
When you're
Yeah.
getting inside the character, sometimes you got to think about just like seating yourself empathetically as much as you can in their body, in their mind,
Exactly.
and reacting
Like, you're not
accordingly.
just voicing the character, you are the character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that kind of vulnerability is it's hard to do on a personal level. It's another step to do it for someone that you're physically not.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Manuel, I don't know how. Is there specific performances you like doing, or as far as like with your podcast goes, maybe something that can relate to that?
Maybe commercial voices. I don't know. I'm still trying to
Yeah.
figure out what kind of voice I have, what kind of characters I could do. Before this, I barely spoke, so I'm not really sure.
Yeah.
Probably something related to radio, podcasting, commercial, probably something like that. Though
Yeah.
I did get a role for a villain in Casting Call Club. I don't know why, but yeah. I still
That's
trying to find
awesome.
out what I want to do, what kind of characters I want to voice.
I think that's the cool thing is a lot of us are on very different I suppose like paths as where we are and where we're trying to figure out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that there's a lot of people who probably decided to take these classes because they wanted to figure out if this is something that they're gonna pursue.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rich diversity in the group we have is really fun. It's really exciting.
Yeah.
I know.
Absolutely.
You know, yeah, we have all kinds of people, like all across the world, who speak different languages, different ages.
Yeah.
Well, I would like
For
to.
me,
Sorry.
oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
You
sorry.
keep going.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No,
So
you're fine.
basically, I would like to make a living out of this. Actually, make a living out of my voice, whatever that is. But yeah, it's something that I have enjoyed. Even though I have only been here for like 2 months probably since I started on Casting Call Club. I think I really enjoy doing this. But probably will take me much longer than you guys because at least you guys have got some experience, inspirations, and everything. But yeah, I think I would like to like make a living out of this. I think it's something that I see myself doing, I don't know, 5 years, 10 years from now.
Yeah.
That's awesome because I think a lot of us kind of went in and not really sure what we were gonna be doing yet.
I still
Yeah.
know what I'm gonna
Yeah.
do, but I will really would like to make a living out of this. I really have enjoyed the process, this learning process I have been going through.
That's awesome. Yeah, for me, I really like voicing angry characters.
Ooh.
I don't know. The very first thing I did when I was like, let's just try this was yell a line angrily.
Ooh.
And like as soon as I did it, I was like, whoa, that felt really good. And I don't know, maybe that's just my inner angry retail associate speaking. It felt good to scream something and to be angry about something.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know, I really like those tough characters. So like being able to voice maybe like a short-tempered character that could go off would be very fun to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, I totally feel that though, like that cathartic release of just
Yeah.
screaming something.
It's like, sometimes you just have to scream into the void, and the closest thing I have to the void right now is my mic. So we're gonna make an exception.
Yeah.
Zoe, what kind of characters do you like voicing?
Huh?
You are the last one to answer the question.
Oh, so I like to voice like squeaky characters with high-pitched voices, like tsunderes, Dearie, like cheery, happy-go-lucky, or the I don't like you, but it's embarrassing to do it right now. But I can definitely
Yeah.
do it. I can definitely get to that range.
Yeah.
I
Those
hope-
ones are really fun to do too.
I know, I love them. I can also do like those just the cutesy high-pitched voices.
That's
that are
true.
like,
Yeah, those
oh
are
my
fun to
goodness.
do too. Like the soft, cutesy little
Yeah.
innocent voices.
I can't.
Or the I hate you, but in the Uber voice.
Oh gosh. Oh no. One of these days.
Oh, one of these days I'm gonna blow y'all's minds. I'm just scared to do it. Unless y'all do it. Unless y'all do a voice.
I mean, that's the goal. No. Last time we did that, we all otta, and that felt like a.
That was amazing. That was absolutely beautiful.
I had to like physically restrain myself from cracking up in the middle of class because of that.
I was editing this at like 2 a.m. and I was losing my mind.
Who had the
And
best
for-
Ada?
For
You can be
anyone
honest.
not aware of this yet, you're gonna have to go back and listen to our other podcast.
Oh, yes.
And
Episode
only one I'm not
our
on.
performance, our Ada performance.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
It was great.
It's very difficult
I
to
can-
pick a good one though. I mean, they were all phenomenal.
Yeah. I cannot do a very good RR voice.
No,
Well, you
we
can't.
we
You
touched
can't
on it a
say
little
that
bit
and not give us an example.
Oh,
Huh?
but
earlier. Like we were doing,
All right.
we
You
were doing
have to.
female voices.
Oh,
in the
no.
first
all right.
recording
You want an
session, so here we
example?
go.
I'll just take
Yeah.
Give it.
I'll just take a quick swig of my water and I'll do it.
Yes.
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
Hydrate yourself. I'm gonna do the same.
Ara, ara.
Woo!
Oh, that
I almost spit out my
That wasn't bad.
Wow.
Lift. Oh, it's so seductive.
I was fairly. Yeah.
I have
your
discovered a
voice kinda
power I
like-
didn't know I had.
Ooh.
And you said you weren't good. You're
Yeah.
obviously lying to us.
No, I just didn't know I could do that.
I can't do a very good ada guys.
Immaculate aura.
That was the most powerful, like... That was so powerful, so rich.
So that will be all for today. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this podcast, and thank you so much, listeners, for hanging out with us today and listening to us talk about voice acting and other things. Please do share if you enjoy it. It'll really help us out a lot. If you know anyone who is also interested in voice acting, this might be a really cool thing to listen to. Get an experience of people who are just starting out on their journey. And with that, have a lovely day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.